Hello everybody, Top Paul here with Left-Handed Knife Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at the CJRB Centros, model number J1905-GYF. Let's get right into it. First up we have our facts and figures. This is going to be a 3.625 inch blade in D2 steel running on a set of bearings. This set of scales is made out of G10 and are affixed to a set of stainless steel liners, and that handle comes in right at 4.75 inches. At the time of this review, this model right here sells for $39.95 on Blade HQ. Next up, we're going to put a couple items on the table for size comparison, as the actual dimensions of the knife will appear on the screen. First up, we have our unsharpened Dixon Ticonderoga pencil. We will follow that up with the Rat Model 2. We'll use the CJRB small feldspar next. And we'll finish it off with the left-handed paramilitary 2. Alright, next up we will talk about Larry and my experience while using the knife. The Centros, as well as other CJRB knives we have reviewed, was pleasant to carry for review. The texture of the G10 is good, and the size of the handle gave us a good amount of room for our hands. These two things combined allowed us to hold the knife comfortably quite a few ways. The knife has good consistent lockup and deploys really well with the thumb stud. Our time with this knife was overall enjoyable. Alright, let's take a look at what the Centros succeeded at. This knife reminded us a lot of the feldspar. You have this well done, sleek drop point blade in D2 steel. This knife also carries really well for how much knife that you're getting. The area up by the tip here is very thin, and it widens out as you get deeper in the pocket. 3.68 ounces for 3.625 inches of blade is right at that 1-to-1 ratio, and the weight feels definitely appropriate for the knife. This knife also is really solid with its ergonomics. You have this little 2-finger groove up front and some good jimping along the spine of the blade, and overall this knife just fit really well in our hands. Next up, let's take a look at what the Centros struggled with. With this knife, CJRB used a similar liner lock to the feldspars. It's angled and it's perfectly smooth. Manipulating this liner lock is less than stellar, and doing it left-handed, that factor is really compounded. With this knife, that was really the one thing that we noticed that we were struggling with. Next up, we have our points of note. Points of note are neutral things that fall between successes and struggles that we still want to mention. Pocket clip's going to be a deep carry pocket clip. It is a little tall for the knife. The knife is fairly wide, which helps the feel in the hand, but the pocket clip shoots straight out from there, kind of creating this little awkward hot spot down towards the back of the knife. There is not a lanyard hole on this knife, but there is a little standoff with a hole drilled through it that you can attach a lanyard to. Alright, next up we have everything that's left. The part of the knife review, we talk about everything left-handed. You have a reversible pocket clip on this knife. It is going to be tip up only carry, but you can put it on the left or the right hand side of the knife. For the deploy, the cutout for a left-handed individual is noticeably smaller than the cutout for a right-handed individual. This did not impede my ability to open the knife with the thumb stud. There is still enough room to get your thumb in there and behind it. Is it going to be as smooth and as easy as it would be for a right-handed individual? No, but it is still definitely doable. The liner lock, as I mentioned before, is perfectly smooth and it is angled. So when you get in there and you're dragging your thumb across, you have to be really careful that you have enough purchase on it, or else you're just going to slip over the top of it. If you are doing it repetitive, you are trying to fidget with the knife, the part of the thumb where you're using to manipulate it is the exact same part of your thumb that you're using to open the thumb stud. So it does wear down the tip of your thumb pretty quickly. But other than that, the knife operates pretty well for left-handed individuals. Let's talk about our final thoughts and recap. For the Centros, most of the models of this knife range anywhere from $36 to $52 at the time of this review. At this price, this is a good alternative to the feldspar. For the price, you're getting a good sized D2 blade with a good shape. The liner lock definitely leaves something to be desired, and it does hamper a left-handed individual's experience with the knife. In the end, this knife is an okay pickup for the price, and is a really good budget offering, again, from CJRB. Thank you very much for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe for more great knife content. We'll see you next time.